Product of our academy here at Steel City, Malik White. Kid that went from a C team a couple of years ago and worked himself into a top team, and now he's playing for the men's first team in an Open Cup qualifying round. Excellent. That's a great ball into Malik. Malik. Oh, that's another referee. That's a great turn from Malik White.
My name is Malik White. I'm 19 years of age. I've been with Steel City for going on 5 years now. I was born in Jamaica, and I was brought to the U.S. when I was about 3, and I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I would say as a player myself, I'd say I like to play free. I like to dribble and take on defenders and just play with joy and passion as hard as possible. I was going to the neighborhood academy, and we were playing, I think, sixth grade soccer, and I had no travel team, no club team, and we were playing in a very low school area. And Coach Haji at the time had come up to me and said hey, we're gonna be able to try and get you to play for this club that practices here. And I saw it as an opportunity that I had to take. So the first day that I come into the club, we had practice over at no off season, and it was just I was really nervous. Obviously, I've never really played at a higher level yet, and I was practicing with the C team at the time, and it was a really nerve-wracking experience. But as I got to know people, it became easier. As soon as I joined the club and I realized that there was a system and a place that you could continue to grow and climb a rank and a ladder, I realized that it was a place that I wanted to succeed at. And as soon as I got here, they put me on the 3 team, and my first initial thought was how can I get as far as possible? How can I get to that first team, and then where can that take me? So as soon as I got here, I think that the goal was always just to climb up the ranks and go as far as I could. I know it's very cliche, but the hard work was the base of everything. I was doing individual sessions every day. I was making sure to watch all my film back. I was going to all my coaches and constantly asking them ways that I could get better and what was wrong with my game and how could I elevate certain aspects of how I was playing. So I think I was very hungry. I always wanted to find out the next best way to get better, and that was what kind of got me to continue to grow. The first conversation that I had where it really clicked with me was with Coach Yates, where he had told me, you just have to play a little bit quicker. Our decision making is kind of where we're going a little bit left, and we just have to clean up the decision making. And I have good ideas, but it just needs to be, how can I make the best choice as quick as possible and just speed up the tempo and not slow down the game. The thing about Steel City, the coaching is great. I would say I've loved every single one of the coaches I've had. They're super encouraging. They've all helped in my development greatly. Just going to them and being able to talk to them, and it's been a great experience. I think the training environments are great because even though I was on the C team, some certain practices I would practice with the A team, I would practice with the B team, and we would combine, and we would also play older age groups as well. So I was getting a chance to play with people who are stronger and faster than me and with better technical ability than me with certain practices. So being able to mix and play with people who were older than me, who were younger than me, just a nice combination of a lot of different players really helped me grow. So I would say the culture here, it's very work hard, play hard type of culture. So you have coaches who will cheer you on and really make sure that you're doing well and tell you when you're doing well and make sure they're giving you that praise. But they'll also kind of go at you if you're not hitting that expectation and getting to that level that they think that you're supposed to be at. So I would say the level with the coaching it's great there, but also the competitiveness with just the playing with so many different kids. You're coming together from all over, and kids drive so far to kind of be at practice, and so it's always a competitive environment when you're here. So the hardest parts of the journey for me, probably the mental aspect. always making sure that I'm practicing, like, no matter what, always making sure to stay disciplined and just show up and give 100% when I can. Throughout my time growing up, I struggled a lot with like confidence issues, taking on the man, knowing when to go, when not to go. So I think there was a big mental aspect to it for me, and in terms of self confidence. But I would say that as I kind of grown older, my self confidence grows, and the coaches have done great to help me with that as well. I would say socially, it's like a tight knit family. You know, you have all different types of people kind of coming together under great coaches and great leadership. So I think for me socially, it was a great experience. I think coming together, you meet a lot of friends, and I've definitely had a lot of people that I still keep in contact with as they kind of go their separate ways. It's almost hard to explain to some people who like have never been in our training environment and have never seen like an '06 practice with an '04, or training with a '07 and an '04, and these big massive like age gaps, and these differences between the C team will practice with the A team, and then as you kind of develop that A team will practice with the first team sometimes as well. So I think it's a great way to mix together. I think that's where a lot of my development kind of went through, with being able to play with those people who were a lot better than me, and just seeing what they did and just kind of obsessing over how to play more like the people who are better than me. So obviously, for anybody who's been playing for a club for a long time, I feel like your boyhood club, your dream is always to play for the first team. Your dream is to always play for that top level that club offers. And so as soon as I had heard about it, I would say my initial reaction was, I gotta play. Like, it, I had to be there. I had to be a part of the team, and I watched great players come through the first team, and it's just a opportunity for me to play with great players. First game that I had went to was at Ambrose, at Pitt, and it was the first qualifying game of the U.S. Open Cup, and it was a great game. We all wore our yellow jackets. I'd gone out. The atmosphere was great. We packed the entire stadium out, and so we were watching a great game, and I knew I was watching these players. And my dad called me while I was watching the game, and he was like, "How is it?" And he was like, "I wish I could see you out there playing." And I knew, like, at that moment, like, this was something that I wanted to kind of pursue and something I wanted to do. My first training session with the first team, it was hard to say the least. I think adjusting to the pace and adjusting to the speed was something I really struggled with at first. And I remember finishing the practice and just going up to head coach Brower and just saying, "Hey, like, this is a lot faster than what I'm used to, but I'm gonna get better, and I'm gonna continue to grow, and I'm gonna get to that level." But going into it, I was just saying to myself, like, I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna enjoy my time on the ball. I'm gonna play very relaxed. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna try as hard as possible, but the main goal is to just go out there and have fun, and try as hard as I could. So as soon as I saw my name on the Open Cup, the list, I called my mom immediately. It was a surreal experience. I think, honestly, something I knew that I'd worked for all that time. And the 8 weeks that I started practicing with the first team leading up to the game, and seeing my name on the roster kind of made it feel like it was all worth it. And being able to kind of see some fruits of all the labor, and then being able to get in and play in that game is just an experience that I think I'll remember for the rest of my life. So as soon as I get called by Brower to go into the game, I take my warm up off. I go get my jersey. I'm getting ready. He's telling me, like, "You're gonna go in. It's time. Just make sure you're good with the press. Play simple. Play fast. Play how you know how to play." And him just saying that to me made me kind of just relax and know that, like, I can play at this level. This is a level that I can play at. And as soon as I came on, heard all my family cheer me on, and it was just a great experience listening to everybody come out and support. So it was great altogether. Of course, motivation's always up, because there's always the next thing. You're just as good as your last game, honestly, the way I see it. So it just means, of course, we won that and emotions are high, but we need to keep on winning and continue to win. The US Open Cup is knockout. You're one and done, so you're only as good as your last game, and we're going to continue to win. if I had to write a letter to my younger self, my 6th grade self, I would tell him it's starting to pay off a little bit. We're not there all the way. We're not there all the way, but we're starting to see a little bit of the fruits of our labor. And he would look at me and he would say, "I know," because I knew that we were going to get to this point. And I always had the belief that I was going to get to a higher level and continue to grow. And he knows that we're not finished, and I know that we're not finished. I mean, it gets more competitive as time goes on. We're bringing a lot of great players and tryouts today as well. But the goals have always been the same: to play in the U.S. Open Cup, to play USL2, to continue to play at the first team level, whatever level that may be at, whatever league we're playing in. The goal is always to continue to play wherever we're playing. So I think I'm going to continue to work hard. I'm going to continue to show my potential, and we're going to see if it pays off. So I'm most proud of my first academy tournament, going to Phoenix with our first academy team, and being able to go down there and scoring my first goal on my first start for the academy. I think that was kind of the moment where I realized, like, I can do this, and I'm starting to see where things are going well. And it was great. My dad actually went to go park the car while I scored, so he missed out on the goal, but I showed it to him back 1,000 times afterwards. So, you know, I think that's 100% the most proud I've been. Being connected to a club like this, me personally, it means the world. Being able to be around people who are very supportive of my dream, and just socially, it's been great to be able to have coaches who you can talk to, and you can lean on them. And you see players, and you go to these long tournaments with them, and you build these bonds. So to me, I've met friends who I know that I'll have for a lifetime. I've met coaches who I know I can rely on, and who I have been some of the most influential people in my life. So realizing that the pathway was real was honestly watching players like Fiskus and Conti play in that first U.S. Opening Cup at Pitt Stadium. I think honestly watching them and seeing them play with the first team, and then watching them play in the summer, I realized that you have coaches who want to see you develop, and they want to use our like homegrown talent that we have, because we have so much of it, honestly, and they want to make sure that we have players who go on to play at a higher level. And I think for me, that was like, I had to be a part of it. Of course, I think as time goes on, my connection to the club will stay strong. At some point, I have to start coaching. I have to stop playing. So I think as time goes on, my love will kind of focus, and my love for the game will shift to maybe coaching. So I think I'll stay with the club as long as I can. Passion. I would say, if I could describe the club in one word, I would say passion. I would say we're very passionate with what we do. We're putting in 100% effort. We're really going at each other in practice. We're having fun. We're playing hard 100%. We're crying 100%. We're putting 100% emotion into everything we do. So I would say passion is the word I would use to describe us.
Love it.